This is one of the best hero equipment builds you can use right now. And with so many equipment in the game, which builds truly stand out? Well, let's break down each hero's best builds so you can maximize their power. Let's first look at the Archer Queen's best build by starting with her giant arrow and healer puppets or action figure. Using the giant arrow along with one of these two is often her best option in multiple different strategies, no matter if it's air or ground. For most players, healer puppets with the giant arrow is the easiest to invest into, as they are both common equipment and work quite well from Town Hall 12 and above. This will allow her to funnel by herself or with the siege barracks. She can also activate invisibility spell towers from a distance, but more importantly, she can clear out air defenses and sweepers depending on the level of your giant arrow. This is a great combo for most players to choose from, but if you do have the action figure, I would recommend investing into it. The Giant is a very strong WWE event troupe that scales very well with HP the higher you level it up, so it's no surprise that it works so well with the giant arrow. Acting as a massive tank to keep your queen alive, it can be very useful as it can tank for everything around it while it does a ton of damage and even has the ability to break through walls. Either way, both options are insanely good and should be a good go-to choice if you're looking for a solid setup for any army. Another great build she has is usually with the magic mirror and the healer puppets or the action figure. Likewise, the magic mirror also works well with both the healer puppets and action figure, which is mainly used within ground armies as either DPS support or as a unit to funnel your troops in. Unless you have both epics upgraded, the magic mirror with healer puppets is a good choice for most players who want to use the queen to set up funneling or to do big damage in the base. It offers enough HP from the mirror while doing a lot of damage with her cloned queens and also having some survivability with the healer's hero healing and the self-healing from the ability. However, if you can get both epics unlocked and upgraded, this is arguably her best for ground-based armies, no matter if you're funneling or doing DPS inside the base, as you not only get the HP and DPS from the mirror and her clones, but also the survivability of the massive tank that has a ton of HP, DPS, and the ability to break walls. Now, you can also take the action figure and healer puppets and use them together. This option is mostly ideal for her whenever she is within the base, such as hero dives or smash attacks. This option can be quite good as it offers you double survivability in the form of healers and the giant, though keep in mind the healers may focus on the giant rather than your queen. However, these two also have a self-healing passive that is part of their abilities, which does stack for a total of 75 healing per second. So it can be great to keep her alive while diving into the base, though I do only recommend this combo if you lack the magic mirror for ground smash and hero dive related armies such as Root Riders or Super Hog Riders. As for the Grand Warden, most of his common equipment and an epic equipment all work insanely well. So let's start with his Eternal Tome and Healing Tome build. This is arguably his best option for support as it offers your troops invulnerability and healing, which is important throughout each Town Hall level. While the Eternal Tome keeps your troops and heroes protected, any damage they took before becoming invulnerable will be healed from the Healing Tome and will last for the rest of its duration, giving your troops enough survivability as you move through the core. If you have the Apprentice Warden in the army, he can give your troops up to 26% more HP, which gives you the Healing Tome a lot more value and can work in many armies from Root Riders to Super Hogs. You can additionally run the Eternal Tome with the Rage Gem instead. Unlike using the Healing Tome, the Rage Gem gives your troops additional damage, which can be a big deal within the base, such as in smash attacks. Not only that, but it opens the door for Warden walks so you can reliably funnel with him while still having supportive capabilities with his Eternal Tome. This can also work in air attacks if you are more worried about damage than survivability, as it can increase the DPS of your dragons, making them move through defenses quicker. However, this also has the ability to both protect healers thanks to the Eternal Tome and boost their healing with the Rage Gem, making it perfect for smash attacks as the healer's healing output is much greater, so long as they stay alive. If you prefer using your Warden as a DPS, look no further to the Fireball and Rage Gem build. This is a very strong option for the Warden despite not being nearly as flexible as his other options, but this build makes up for that by having a strong way to remove any compartment with the Fireball's high projectile damage and just 2 Earthquake spells. Oftentimes you will want to use this specifically with smash attacks like the Super Yetis, Super Witches, or Throwers. However, it can also be used within Warden charges where the Warden is a solo DPS unit, so he can clear out defenses and buildings on his own, where he's usually paired with either furnaces and or rocket loons to help clear out defenses while supporting him. However, if you like to use Root Rider Smash, another very strong option is the Rage Gem Healing Tome build. This mainly takes advantage of using 2 Overgrowth spells, which can cover the role of the Eternal Tome as they both freeze defenses and cannot be attacked. This allows you to control the Root Rider pathing while keeping them alive, as this build will let the healers support them by getting boosted healing, while the Healing Tome adds onto that with its own strong healing. The Royal Champion is up next as her builds open up different playstyles which can be very strong. One such option includes her Rocket Spear and Electro Boots. This is her best build currently due to each equipment's individual strengths. Her Electro Boots give her survivability via passive DPS and self-healing, while the Rocket Spears allow her to pick off defenses from a much longer range. This enables your Royal Champion to charge with the spear at the beginning to clear defenses or to save the spears for later on while your army works in, so she can also clear core defenses safely. Another decent option your Royal Champion can run is the Electro Boots with the Haste Vial. While being a very strong and quick way to do damage, it does come with risks. So oftentimes this is better used when you're using a longer Royal Champion charge, such as within RC Charge Dragon armies. This can enable your Royal Champion to get more defenses down, and when paired with either an Earthquake spell or Rage spell, you can easily move through compartments if you're investing all of your spells into the Royal Champion charge. However, if you prefer to not use the Royal Champion charge and prefer to use her to funnel or clear out back-end defenses, her Rocket Spear and Seeking Shield is a tried and true build. While your Royal Champion will be fairly weak to skeleton traps, this does enable your Royal Champion to clear out defenses with both abilities. The Seeking Shield can clear defenses with less than 2,500 HP, and if it has more than that, the shield will do enough damage to let the Rocket Spears clear out the defense with less spears. This overall keeps the Royal Champion out of range of most defenses and will enable her to get value whether you need defenses funneled or the back end of the base cleared. With the Barbarian King, he doesn't have many good options, but the ones he does have are very good throughout the entire game. Case in point, his Earthquake Boots and Spiky Ball. This build is by far his best whenever he is inside the base, as he's able to do quite a lot of damage from both the Earthquake Boots damage percent and the Spiky Ball's projectile damage, while also being able to open walls for your entire attack. The utility and damage that he can provide with this set enables him to be used in plenty of armies, ranging from hero dive attacks like Super Hog Riders or even smash attacks like Super Yetis. However, your Barbarian King can also funnel quite well with his Snake Bracelet and Spiky Ball build. Unlike his other best option, this one is great if your king is on the outside of the base, funneling as he gains a ton of HP from both abilities while enabling him to reach over walls with the Spiky Ball and the snakes, who can jump over walls and distract defenses for your king while he moves around the outside of the base. And finally, we get to the Minion Prince, as he has plenty of good builds, which includes his Dark Orb with either the Henchman Puppets, Dark Crown, or Metal Pants. Since the Dark Orb is so good, there are multiple choices to pair with it, which all offer some form of survivability and or damage. The Henchman Puppets paired with the Dark Orb is his tried and true default option that is not only cost effective on ores, with both being common equipment, but they are also very flexible in both air and ground armies. The Dark Crown is a solid choice for those who have it maxed out and prefer to use Dragon or Dragon Rider strategies, since it buffs the Minion Prince quite a bit but needs 180 housing space to fall to take advantage of it. As for the metal pants, just use this if you need the minion prince to be more of a tank, which can be beneficial if he's falling to seeking air mines too much, or you need him to tank for your rocket balloons. However, you do have another choice in the metal pants and noble iron. This is his premier funneling build for those who have the angry jelly and siege barrack within their army. I recommend using this if you want another option to funnel, especially if you are above Town Hall 16, as it can be very good due to him being a flying hero, so walls aren't an issue, while also focusing on defenses, so the siege barracks can mainly clear trash buildings and set up a safe funnel for your main army. So if you want to see the best builds from a glance, here is every hero's best option, not ranked in any particular order, but gives you an idea of all of the viable options you have so you can improve their strength. If you do want the best attacks for each town hall level though, I recommend checking out this video next, while YouTube says this one is the best for you.